Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, my fellow Chibits, and hopefully all of you have had a wonderful day today, because I know for a fact I definitely have after watching some great anime today and reading some wonderful manga chapters. Like, to say a few, like that Taizai chapter, the Snow White, episodes I had to binge watch, along with, seeing this OVA series I'm going to be talking about in just a second, Noblesse, hopefully I'm saying the name right. Quite the quality series today, and I have to say, I enjoyed it a lot. So, to dive right in, this series, Noblesse, hopefully, like I said, I'm saying the name right, this is a series that has been requested quite often by many Chibits in the past. Not just to review this anime episode, but actually review the manga, or the manhwa, the actual webtoon or whatever it's based off. I think it is a manhwa similar to the Breaker. If you've ever read the Breaker, very wonderful series. I hope one day that actually gets a anime as well, or at the very least an OVA series, but that's a discussion later on for the video. The main thing is an OVA or episode 1 was released of Noblesse very recently, like less than a week ago, and I've been actually wanting to get into this series for a while now. Not the actual anime, but actually the manga, or the manhwa, or webtoon, whatever it's based off of. Many have recommended it to me in the past. I've seen it constantly in private messages, I've seen it on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. It's been recommended. Now, I remember many saying I should read this series after The Breaker went on hiatus. We're still waiting on part 3, but after The Breaker went on hiatus, many told me that, I need to start the series. I need to give it a shot. Many were saying, like, start Tower of God, or start, The Gamer, or start this. I started The Gamer, read quite far into that, and also Tower of God I'm still reading, doing it at my own pace, but I'm pretty much almost caught up. And the one series I've never actually started is Noblesse. And for some reason, I don't know why I never started, because I've always actually, to be honest, been a big fan of vampire manga. Like, one of my personal favorite mangas on my shelf is Vampire Knight. Now, say what you will about Vampire Knight, say what you will about it, I've always been a big fan of that type of series, or any type of vampire series, especially when it comes to manga form, like Chibi Vampire, very wonderful series, and I've always loved the romance that's mixed in with it. And so seeing, Noblesse and stuff, it was a type of series that has the themes I actually like, and I never really went far into it. I've seen, like, the start of, like, the first chapter of Noblesse when I was looking into it, and I never really read far of it. My memory's kind of fuzzy on it, but I do know it was about vampires. And so it is a series that has popped up many times in the past for many to tell my overall thoughts. So today, I'm going to actually give my first impressions on the series since I finished the OVA series. Now, to cut right to the chase, I'm going to assume that this episode of Noblesse that came out is more like a advertisement instead of a, oh, we're making an anime series. Now, I don't know any information about, like, what exact company worked on this, or I don't know exactly if there's more planned in the future, but what I can tell by the way this episode was displayed to me as an anime only that has not read the manga, or the manhwa, webtoon, or whatever, it was something that felt like an advertisement, and I'm actually fine with that. I'm really fine with that. Now, let me explain. I'm not a fan of anime series doing like a 12-episode series, or, like a 24-episode series, and it's meant to be an advertisement. It's something that really bugs me, because it's like, go read the fucking manga. That's exactly how it is, and you feel like you want to get the content you have been watching. Like, you want to see some form of solid conclusion a little bit. That's how many anime are, but they don't give that. They would say, oh, wait for the next season, or you're never going to get another season because possible sales and stuff, and it just leaves you hanging. And when you walk into this series, Noblesse OVA, you kind of expect it to be just one OVA, nothing more, and you expect it to just be something to get you interested in the series, and that's exactly what I think its main goal was, and I have to say, it definitely achieved that with many, because I've seen many comments for the past couple days, many telling me I need to give it a shot, and I need to actually read the original source because it is that good. And after seeing the episode for myself, yeah, I can see why I would actually want to watch or read this series now. I mean, if there's more that was going to come out, like, more anime and something, oh yeah, instantly, I would definitely continue watching. But in terms of the original source, I might have to pick it up very soon. I have a lot of projects on the side at the moment. I'm still, doing stuff for, Fate/stay Night's visual novel, doing Kingdom. I need to get a video up on that very soon, catching up on Pandora Hearts and Kuroko, basketball, and all sorts of stuff. At this time, I don't have the time to really tackle another series, and along with that, I'm still trying to catch up with all the other stuff that I missed those past couple weeks. So I don't have the time to start Noblesse at this moment, but I want to say I am interested in the series after seeing the episode. So let's talk about what it's about. I think many of you are here probably to kind of hear my thoughts. Like, how did I feel about the episode overall? Like, the content I saw inside of it. So, from what I gather, our main character, Rai, he is a very special vampire, which, of course, that should be assumed since he is the MC. He needs to be a little bit different. So, he's a special type of vampire. For instance, he could control what I can see other vampires, or lesser vampires than himself. He could tell them to kneel, to not attack, and to do whatever he wants. He mind controls them, and it makes him really strong, because he doesn't even need to lay a finger on his opponents. He just straight up can just say, kneel, kill yourself, whatever, and, you know, he could do that. So, Rai is an overpowered son of a gun. I'm just gonna say it right off the bat, because he is quite powerful after seeing that little, I guess, not even a fight, it was a slaughter. That part at the end of the episode was a slaughter, not even a fight, because he didn't even lift a finger. Like, well, actually, yes, he lifted a finger. He lifted a finger, and he says, like, your blood will be the payment and stuff. But he didn't really do much, and the dude got slaughtered. So it goes to show you the power gap and how strong he is as a vampire. Now, we do know he is over 800 years old, that give or take. Now, we know he's like 820, and if we can assume that he maybe has like another 100 years out of that, he might be 900 to 1,000 years old. And judging by the way the plot is going, or how he has this special type of power to be able to manipulate other vampires, it makes me assume that he might be related to like one of the main creators, like, or the first being of vampires, or something like that. That's what I'm assuming from the way that was done with his power, because usually when it comes to vampires having special powers, or controlling, you know, lesser beings of vampires, sometimes it's because they're very high up there in the bloodline, where they can, like, they're one of the first original vampires that were born, and that's what I'm assuming he most likely is. Now, besides that, story-wise, there's really not much story to say. I mean, majority of the episode was focused on just this organization trying to hunt down the coffin, and the coffin was Rai inside of it, and pretty much they wanted him for some reason, which we don't really know the full picture of the reason why they wanted him, but they wanted him, and you had it to where there was human experimentation going on. Humans were making, I'm supposed, vampires and somewhat, and also you have it to where, you know, these kids from the school were being saved, so setting up the cast members of the series. But majority of it, it felt really fast-paced. Like, I gotta say, like, the pacing of the episode was fast-paced, and that's one of the biggest issues I noticed about the episode. Like, if there's anything that stood out to me out of everything, like, in terms of problems, it was definitely the fast pacing. It felt like there was just so much stuff going on at once, which is not a bad thing, because, I mean, if it's going to be an advertisement, I guess they want to cram as much as they can and allow you to see kind of what the series is offering you. So, I can kind of let it slide on that, but I have to say, though, that is a problem with it, because some of the scenes, especially when, like, a character dies or something, it feels rather forced, and you're like, oh, I don't really care about this, because why would I feel sad for a guy I just met, like, maybe 3 minutes ago, and he dies, and they're crying, and, you know, saying, like, you know, oh, my friend did this. I mean, I understand. I probably, if I was to read the original source, it would give more clarity to it, and that's where I'm going with this, you know, video. More of along the lines, Noblesse was an advertisement. That's exactly what this was. It was an advertisement for the original source, and if you like that, and if you're interested and you want to see the original source, it definitely did its job. But honestly, you most likely might be disappointed if you expected to have, like, a full anime episode to tell, like, a good story and then conclude it in that. Now, if there's going to be other OVAs, I guess I will, you know, push my opinion to the side on it. We'll have to see how it goes from there. But yeah, this episode of Noblesse, definitely good. It was a good episode to really let me know what I can expect when I finally sit down and read it. So yeah, that will be sometime in the near future. I hope that this is the start of many good things to come, because, I mean, if you factor in, there's been series recently that have been getting anime adaptations that normally wouldn't have in the past many years ago. Like, for instance, you know, One Punch Man. It started off as a, you know, webcomic. That's exactly what One Punch Man was. And then eventually it became a manga series, and then it became an anime. And One Punch Man came a long way. I mean, it started off as a webcomic, and this, from what I'm assuming, is also a webcomic. Like, you know, it's something that, you know, it's not normally published in a big magazine. And also, you know, Mob Psycho 100, that's also getting an anime series, and that's also a webcomic. So, I feel like this is a new start to a new generation of series that we can expect in the future. Maybe, you know, Manhwa might get more anime, maybe webtoons might get more respect they deserve to be turned into series and stuff, or manga. I would love to see that. I really would love to see that if some of these great writers that are very different, you know, than the normal stuff we see in Shonen Jump or, you know, any other magazines, it would be really great to see something very different in terms of storytelling. Like, I mean, Tower of God, Tower of God alone is a very good story, a very, very, very good story. Many people will push that series to the side just because of some of the artwork, but it's a very good story. And then The Breaker as well, it's a fucking amazing series. Oh my god, The Breaker's good, but sadly it doesn't get the recognition it deserves because it's not really, you know, public. It's not, you know, part of Shonen Jump, it's not part of any of these other big magazines to really kind of showcase, and it's like, oh, here it is, you know, read it. So hopefully more series like Noblesse and others get the respect they deserve, and eventually we might get anime series for these series that could, you know, possibly be a couple seasons. I would love to see that. I really would. It would definitely be a good start to kind of rejuvenate some of the market when it comes to anime and manga to be different than normal, because we need some fresh faces here. We need some fresh content, and that's exactly what I can see from these, you know, webtoons and stuff being finally animated and stuff. So, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.